Good afternoon. So, what I want to talk about today is actually extremely important, especially for those that may be in quarantine right now with other people. What I want to talk about today is de-escalation. So, this is really going to focus on anger. A lot of times, my clients come into treatment because they have a lot of issues with anger. What we'll do at that point, we'll actually do a lot of different things depending on the person because therapy really needs to be tailored to the person that's sitting in front of me. However, it's very common when people have anger, it comes out in a lot of ways, such as yelling, name calling, raising their voice, all of those things. Part of the issue when we get angry is that we're not listening to the other person. So when we are not listening to the other person, it would stand to reason that that other person is also not listening to us, right? So here we go. What I want to help you do is be able to understand what the other person is saying. So a lot of times that's going to take taking ego out. A lot of times when someone comes at you with a you statement, well, you did this, you made me mad, and if you didn't do this, then I wouldn't have had to do this. Well, we're not going to get into shoulds in this video. However, I want to look at what's happening. When someone is angry, you are not at that point able to rationalize because you cannot rationalize with someone that is not rational. So when you are upset or another person is upset, that is not the time to attempt to have a conversation. That's when you're going to want to bring it down so that you're at least at what I might say is emotionally at baseline. So this might look like, yeah, you're upset. However, you're able to actually hear what the other person is attempting to tell you. A couple of de-escalation techniques would include lowering your voice. It is not uncommon that when people are engaged in an argument, their voices get louder and louder and louder. Well, when you start raising your voice at someone, their defense is going to start going up. So a de-escalation tactic would be lower your voice. Okay. You want to bring it down because when you start bringing your voice down, the other person is going to want to know what you're saying. So they are going to bring their voice down eventually as well. Another tactic would be hand signals, right? Because a lot of times our brains are just moving in such quick speeds that we end up saying things before we recognize what we're saying. And once you say certain things, it's like a tube of toothpaste. Once you've said something, you can't put it back in the tube. It's done. De-escalation allows for you to take that step back and use those hand signals. So someone's coming at you. I'm mad because of this. You did this and you did that, and because you did this, I didn't do that, and because I didn't do that, that person did this. Hand signals. Well, wait a minute. All right, time out. Can you slow down? Because when someone can visually see that you're like, wait a minute. That lets them know, oh, okay, I need to take a step back. I also want to encourage being very mindful of your body language. So when someone is upset, it's very common that they'll ball their fists. Very common. You'll also notice that they get Some people get really tense. Some people become really quiet. So it's about one, being aware of nonverbal communication. What is happening in front of you? If you see that someone is becoming tense or balling their fist, you're not going to want to intimidate. You're not going to want to rise up and then raise your voice, because at that point, the anger is going to be going up. Remember, at this point in de-escalation, we do not care about right or wrong, who started and who didn't. We don't have time for that. Because when it's time to de-escalate, that means that someone is so activated, listening is done. So we want to get all parties on a stable surface, because the number one priority is safety. And safety can be physical, mental, and emotional. Later videos on that to come. However, when it comes to anger, it can happen so quickly. So it's very important to catch it. Be aware of those warning signs. What is happening when you find yourself becoming upset? For me, I know my ears get hot. I can feel my ears and they are burning, and they might even be red. That lets me know that I'm upset. I might find that I am completely silent. That tells me that something's going on. So look for those warning signs. And when you find those warning signs are happening, address them. Even if it's just taking a break, going outside, getting a glass of water, taking a cold shower, calling a friend, whatever have you. Be aware and address it. So this is just a little introduction on de-escalation in regards to anger specifically. Again, if there are any questions, please let me know. I would love to do any follow-up videos if needed. If not, please feel free to subscribe or follow depending on what medium you are using. In terms of that anger, feel your feelings. As I've said in a previous video, anger is not a bad emotion. It is beautiful when used correctly. I'm sure there will be many future videos in regards to anger and additional techniques in managing that anger. However, the ones that we have talked about today are very useful. I'll leave you with one more. Play the tape through. If you find yourself angry, or you are speaking to someone that is angry, when you find yourself getting ready to say something or to do something, ask yourself what is likely to happen. Because when you do something, that other person or persons will likely respond. They will likely react, as there is a difference between a reaction and a response. Thank you for your time today. I hope that this video has been helpful. I thank all of those that have subscribed and have followed. I hope these videos continue to be helpful. I hope you have a great day. Please stay safe. And as always, peace and love.